Let's be real. If you're in construction, you have absolutely lost sleep over a weather forecast. It's the one thing you just can't control. But what if I told you that you could? What if you could turn weather from your biggest headache into just another predictable, manageable part of the job? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're building a bulletproof strategy for handling whatever the sky throws at you.
So you get a rain day. That just means a one-day schedule extension, right? Easy. Except, no. That common assumption is a really, really expensive mistake to make. The truth is way more complicated, and honestly, understanding that complexity is where you start to get a serious edge.
Because here's the thing. Justifying a weather delay isn't just about pointing at the sky and saying, "See, it rained." It's about building a solid case, almost like a detective, using your contract, historical data, and some seriously meticulous documentation. This isn't about getting a rain check. It's a strategic process that directly protects your bottom line.
Okay, so where do we even start? It all comes down to language. You've got to get this right. We're not just talking about bad weather. The term you absolutely need to know, the one that holds all the power, is adverse weather. Let's dig into what that actually means, because it's not what you might think.
Here's the key difference, and this is so important. Adverse weather isn't just a heavy downpour. It's weather that is unusually severe for that specific location at that specific time of year. So think of it this way. It's not just the inconvenient, it's the unexpected.
And this is where it all clicks into place. Let's imagine the historical data for your job site in, say, June, shows an average of 5 rainy days. This month, you get slammed with 7. Now, you don't get to claim all 7 days. Nope, you only claim the 2 days that were above and beyond what everyone should have anticipated. That is your justifiable, data-backed delay. See the difference?
Okay, so you've got your 2 extra rain days. Great. But how do you actually make the claim for them? Well, it all comes back to one single source of truth, your contract. That document is the official rulebook for the project. It's the law of the land, and you have to play by its rules.
I cannot stress this enough. Before a single shovel even thinks about hitting the dirt, you need to read, reread, and understand the weather clause in your contract. Treat it like a blueprint. Every single thing we're going to talk about from here on out flows directly from the specific words written in that clause. It is the foundation of your entire strategy.
So, when you look at that contract, you're probably going to see one of 3 types of clauses. Some are highly specific, telling you the exact rainfall amount or temperature that counts. That means your tracking has to be razor sharp. Others are really vague, what they call force majeure, just lumping weather in with acts of God. If you have one of those, the burden is totally on you to build a powerful case. And then you have standardized clauses, which are kind of in the middle, but they still demand that you do your homework with data and daily reports.
Knowing the rules is one thing, but a true pro, builds a plan around those rules. The whole goal here is to take something that feels totally unpredictable, the weather, and make its impact on your schedule entirely predictable. This is where we stop playing defense and start playing offense. And it's a pretty straightforward 3-step playbook. First, you get that historical data we talked about, so you know exactly what to normally expect. Second, you look at your schedule and you pinpoint your most vulnerable tasks. Things like big concrete pours, roofing, exterior painting. And third, you bake those anticipated bad weather days right into your baseline schedule from day one. You plan for them.
And listen, this isn't about guesswork or just, a gut feeling. The industry standard, the thing that will hold up, is using a credible source like the National Weather Service and looking at a 10-year historical average. This gives you a defensible, data-driven foundation for your schedule, which is absolutely crucial if you ever have to explain it.
All right, so you've got your plan locked in. The project is up and running. Now, when those dark clouds inevitably roll in, your job shifts. You go from being a planner to being a meticulous tracker. And trust me, this is where weather claims are won or lost, day by day, hour by hour.
From here on out, your daily reports have to become a weather diary. You're not just writing down rainy day, no way. You're recording the temperature, the exact rainfall in inches, the wind speed, and, this is the most important part, which specific trades and activities were stopped or slowed down because of it. You're basically building your evidence file in real time.
And you have got to watch the clock. This is a huge one. A lot of contracts have a super strict deadline, often just 10 days, for you to provide formal written notice of a potential delay. If you miss that 10-day window, your perfectly documented, totally legitimate claim could be completely worthless. It's such a simple step, but it is dangerously easy to forget.
And remember, we're tracking more than just rain. Think about this. A 20-degree day might be cold, but your crew can work. But what happens when you add a 10-mile-per-hour wind? Suddenly, that wind chill makes it feel like 4 degrees. Productivity just plummets. That is a real, trackable, and claimable impact that you would totally miss if you were only looking at a simple weather report.
So, you've done the proactive planning. You've tracked everything like a hawk. You've documented the real-world impact. Now it's time to assemble all those pieces into a professional, undeniable claim that leaves zero room for doubt.
A winning claim, a truly bulletproof one, has 3 key parts. First, it tells a clear story, a narrative that explains exactly what happened and why it mattered to the schedule. Second, it uses visuals, like charts and graphs, to make the data easy to understand and impossible to argue with. And third, it's backed up by a thick file of supporting documentation that proves every single point you make.
And that supporting documentation, that's your hard evidence. It's the official climate summaries from the Weather Service. It's copies of every single daily report from the job site that mentions the weather. And of course, it includes copies of those timely written notices you sent. This is the paper trail that leads straight to a successful claim.
I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the whole mindset shift we've been talking about. Look, you can't control the weather, of course not, but you can absolutely control your preparation and your response to its impact. It's all about turning a reactive problem into a proactive strategy.
So, when you boil it all down, the playbook is actually pretty clear. It's these 4 simple steps. Plan with data. Know your contract inside and out. Track every detail meticulously. And document absolutely everything. If you master these 4 things, you're in control, no matter what the forecast says.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about as you head to your next job site. Are you still treating weather like some unpredictable, uncontrollable force of nature? Or are you prepared to manage it as the predictable business risk that it truly is? Because honestly, the answer to that question can make all the difference in the world.